file together. That's
All
my
right,
point.
we
You saw an
Hold on,
angel?
Buck. Hold on, Buck. Hold on, Buck. Hold
You
on,
did
brother.
LSD?
Buck, hold on,
Yeah.
brother. Buck, hold on, Jesus Christ. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me see something right quick. End screen. Social media. Starting screen. All right. Yeah, bitch. Get my kill back, bitch. 3 piece. Let me get my kill back. Oh, 4 piece. Hit the right way. Cut that shit for me.
Let me be on 48 hours, you know?
Lock it up, lock it up.
Run up in there, man. Run up in there.
As you guys can hit the like button. You know what I mean? In 2 seconds.
Don't matter. Break that bitch.
Oh God, oh God. Clip that. Man.
Like I said, you guys come in, you be so kind, hit the like button. I haven't done one of these on YouTube in a minute, but expand your mind. We're talking to David Jaffe. We'll get his take on a few things, man. We're literally gonna be live in 2 seconds. Spread the word. Tweet it out. Let me put it on Twitter. Remake the Saturn.
Purchase your tracks today.
We going live in 2 seconds, man. The rainmakers of Saturn. Were humans genetically modified?
I want to see how bad it is back this motherfucker.
Were humans genetically modified?
Black goddamn James Bond. He got more motherfucking money than me. He got his motherfucking hand in my pocket. I can't make this shit up, right? You see this thing up here? Look at this shit here. Look, is that my prodigy? What the fuck is that? Don't get his ass in me. I'm gonna tell you how bad it is back this motherfucker.
Come in.
J-Dub is a black bitch.
Hit the like button.
Goddamn James Bond. He got more motherfucking money than me. He got his motherfucking hand in my pocket. I can't make this shit up, right? You see this thing up here? Look at this shit here. Look, is that my prodigy? What the fuck is that? Don't get his ass in me. I'm gonna tell you how bad it is back this motherfucker.
We're going live in 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen.
Today will be Mello's last day on the podcast. Right. Get this nigga the fuck off.
That's deep. This nigga's missing motion.
Call me out.
Oh, let me see. Okay, so that was the.
Yeah, and it's another picture. That's probably give him the full.
Yeah, I got it right now.
Shut up, you freak!
Come in, tweet it out. You guys been asking me for this one of these for a minute. I haven't done one, so let me bring it back. I usually do them on Twitch, but yeah.
Asking you a goddamn thing.
Oh, you know, said the 12 tea bags of flour. Edition. According to Digital Foundry, they own words. The game is janky and buggy. That's their own words. And I got the link.
More dog shit.
The nigga said Denzel Washington Glory. Goddamn.
Today will be Mello's last day on the podcast. Right. Get this nigga the fuck off.
That's deep. This nigga's missing motion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see. Okay, so that was the.
Yeah, and it's another picture. That's probably give him the full.
Yeah, I got it right now.
Shut up, you freak!
No, why I stay late now, kid. Hey, I'm never the aggressor. You know what I mean? I don't never delve in the bottom of the deck, man. You know what I mean? I'm solid. You know, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm solid. You would never ask this question my intentions. None of that weird shit, bro. We're literally going live in 3 minutes. Just put the tag in, ladies and gentlemen. These niggas be dealing from the bottom of the deck. You know? They handshake. What I used to say to niggas, they handshakes ain't matching their smile. Another they took, well, niggas, how you say niggas audio ain't matching their visual. That shit came from me too, man. Anyway, we're gonna talk about a few things today, though. Here, live on Twitch. You know what I mean? Hey, brother ain't your brother. You know what I mean? Be wary of those who come bearing gifts. You know what I mean? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I don't know where to, I don't know, listen, by the end of the stream, right? There will be no stone unturned. Like I said, man, the rainmakers of Saturn. There will be no stone unturned. When humans genetically modified. You know, shit. Drop a little bit, man. Come on over there with everything. I'm gonna drop it like I said, man. Come on over to Twitch right now. Forget, drop this right quick. Man. No, listen, you know why I'm feeling all right. Like now, kid. Hey, I'm never the aggressor. You know what I mean? I don't never delve in the bottom of the deck, man. You know what I mean? I'm solid. All right. You know, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm solid. They would never ask this question my intentions. None of that weird shit, bro. These niggas come around and they got ulterior motives, man. These niggas be dealing from the bottom of the deck. You know? They handshake. What I used to say to niggas, they handshakes ain't matching their smile. Another they took, well, niggas, how you say niggas audio ain't matching their visual. That shit came from me too, man. Anyway, we're gonna talk about a few things today, though. Here, live on Twitch. You know what I mean? Hey, brother ain't your brother. You know what I mean? Be wary of those who come bearing gifts. You know what I mean? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I don't know where to, listen, by the end of the stream, right? There will be no stone unturned. Right? Real talk, be no stone unturned. And I don't know where it's gonna lead me to. You know, shit. Come on over. I'm gonna drop it like I said, man. Come on over to Twitch right now. Forget, drop this right quick. Man. Know why? No, listen. You know why I feel? You know why I stick to the night and I don't care? Hey, I'm never the aggressor. You know what I mean? I don't never delve in the bottom of the deck, man. You know what I mean? I'm solid.
Come,
you know,
man.
I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm solid.
All right,
You
ladies
never
and
had to question my
gentlemen.
intentions. None of that weird shit, bro.
We are.
Around, they got ulterior motives, man. These niggas be dealing from the bottom of the deck. You know? They handshake. What I used to say to niggas, they handshakes ain't matching their smile. Another they took, well, niggas, how you say, niggas audio ain't matching their visual. That shit came from me too, man. Shit, anyway, we're gonna talk about a few things today, though. Here, live on Twitch. You know what I mean? Hey, brother ain't your brother. You know what I mean? We might have a couple special guests
Where are
up in.
those who come bearing gifts?
You know what I mean? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I don't know where. I don't know. I listen by the end of the stream, right? There will be no stone unturned. Right? Real talk. Be no stone unturned. And I don't know where it's gonna lead me to. You know, shit. Come on over. I'm gonna drop it like I said, man. Come on over to Twitch right now. Let me get drop this right quick.
They said I changed. Maybe they
No, listen. You know why I feel? You know why I stick to the night and I don't care?
maybe they
All right, it's the last song. Let's see. We going live into this right here.
Who run it? We run it. Who does it? Like we does it. We the shit. That's it. I would say it if we wasn't. Try to stop it, homie. We gon' put some problems on them. Nigga, what you hating for? Tell me what the problem, homie. Why you mad? 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 Why you hating on me? Don't be mad. 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 Can't get like me. Hands to the sky and I question it.
Where my life is.
Cause right now, I'm getting life in. Fast money, homie, tell me what a
Shout out to David Jaffe swinging by.
Tell him how life feels. Great big dude, carry my own weight. Was taught at a young age, put food on my own plate. I go hard, yeah. Any means, I do what I gotta, but I won't do anything. Money over bitches, boy, amongst many things. My niggas straight street, turn butter into cream. Niggas screaming they got dough, but nothing is what it seems. Fast money, we do it big. Keep your focus right here, you know. Who run it? We run it. Who does it? Like we does it. We the shit, that's it. I would say it if we wasn't. Try to stop it, homie. We gon' put some problems on them. Nigga, what you hating for? Tell me what the problem, homie. Why you mad? 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 Why you hating on me? Don't be mad. 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 Can't get it like me. I'm about to take flight, homie. No landing gear. Cause life seems much better from up here. I feel good on that laid back shit. I'm trying to get my money tall on that made back shit. How they told me to put her on the corner and make that quick. Listen up to the club like shake that shit. Yeah, doing me, staying in my lane. Most of them change over change. Give a fuck about a rim or a change. If a family got it the same.
time for them. Well, maybe they weren't worth your time. They laughed at my dreams and my goals. Well, maybe they were embarrassed because they didn't have it. Maybe their dreams were really nightmares.
Who run it? We run it. Who does it? Like we does it. We the shit. That's it. I would say it if we wasn't. Try to stop it, homie. We gon' put some problems on them. Nigga, what you hating for? Tell me what the problem, homie. Why you mad? Why you mad?
Why you mad?
Why you mad? Why you mad? Why you mad? Why you hating on me? Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
All right.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Can't get it like me.
Maybe their dreams were really nightmares.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Horror story.
As you guys come in, you be so kind. Let me get this out of my way. To hit the like button. We're gonna shout you out. And we're gonna have some fun here today, man. I hope you can hear me loud and clear, you know what I mean? Loud and clear. We are live, 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 we are live.
We're live. We got 83 people watching.
Jesus
we got
Christ.
39 likes. Listen, when I say hit that like button, listen, Jaffe is here. He's going to tell you hit that like button. So we know we're going to get a bunch of likes today. Shout out to Brarios in the house. What's good, player? True SSJ Havoc, Mr. JTK, Freddie Wayne in the house. Gen X 128. Tone NY was good. Shot G, I see you. Classic 153. We got Buck Dad in the panel in the house. We got TKRDS in the house. What's good? Carol Anchor was good. Said, oh shit. What it is like to hit the like button? What it do? What's up, Carol Anchor? Appreciate it. David VGS in the house. What's good? Said, Buck, how many raccoon stories you got today? Oh, man, y'all leave Buck alone.
I got a new Mantis story. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Of course, we got the man, the myth, the legend himself, David Jaffe, on the panel.
Yes, sir.
We got Mutant Mo in the house. We got Casual Gamer. We got Thunderbreaker. What's good? Iron Mike is back again. Who else? We got Jaffe loves. We got Jaffe loves big white women. Absolutely. Cooper Clips in the house. Yeah, man, you know the chat, man. They crazy. The Dr. 4K in the house was good.
What's up, Dr. 4K?
1964. What's good, the Pyra, man? See you in a minute. What else we got? Solidius, David Hawk, AP the Shooter. What's good? Joe Henry, Pastor Joe. What's good, man? Who else we got? Juan Castillo, Verge Brizzle, CA Real, my brother was good. Spaz was good. I see you. Low Key Deadpool in the house. Who else we got? Fernando Perez, Kevin Mack, Baby Chicken Wing was good. Ronan Gomez, Surgeon 12 in the house. Who else we got? Bone Slave was good. Air G. Zilla in the house. My brother Mac was good, brother. Hope you had a great day, man. Who else we got? Sunday Walk in the house. Heat the Heathen Stevens. Mr. Jada OG, I see you. Stu Peas in the house. What's good, brother? Who else we got? The Dunn Plays. Jada God was good. Cridge, I see you. T. Harris in the house. It's Mr. Ray. We got Black Time Cruise, not the white one, but the black one. Please keep doing these. Expand your minds, man. Yeah, you got a big following for the expand your minds, man.
Well, expand my goddamn pockets and goddamn it, this ain't free.
Facts. We got All Day in the house. What's good, my brother? Hope everything going good with you. Well, let me tweet this stuff out. Z, did you tweet everything?
Yeah, I'm doing it now. Yeah. I'm doing it right now as we speak. No, these things are a little different. I don't even know with tagging them stuff when you go straight through Streamlabs. Yeah.
Just making sure you got everybody aware. Has a man in the house. Carlos Alvarado, my brother, what's good? Hope you're doing good today, man.
Yes, sir.
To die for. Pause. What else we got? Make sure you ain't miss nobody. They be like, JW, read my name.
JD, let me see Keontae here.
Send me a
come back up.
He said
notification.
It didn't get you know they be having me in YouTube.
It's that alien on screen shadow bans you instantly.
They be having me in YouTube purgatory, brother.
Yeah, I tweeted it out.
Let me just put this on Facebook. I better see you guys in real time in 1 second. Like I said, I got David Jaffe here. We got a few interesting topics. We're gonna talk about the remakers of Saturn. Burgley wrote the book, who had above top secret clearance, if I'm not mistaken. I think he recently, not too long ago, passed away. That book is costly. I was gonna get the hardcover. You can find it digitally online, but it costs.
Is that the one that would disappear whenever you'd order it?
No, that was a UFO highway with Anthony Sanchez. Yeah, you can on his site that book. We should have talked about that, but on it, we maybe can mention it on the show. On his site, he only sells the book for $20. But you like on Amazon and everywhere like that, so that's just like $1,000, $2,000. I bought it. I got tired of buying it. That book never came to my house ever. I would buy it from his site, and it would never come. And I'm not even being facetious, but with a tinfoil hat on anything. Like I'm dead ass. It's called UFO Highway. With Anthony Sanchez. They did those with Dulce, Dulce, New Mexico, the underground thing they have over there.
Oh, Dulce. Okay.
Dulce, New Mexico. Yeah, man.
All right.
We got Rob in the house with the $2. Shout out to the fuck niggas in the chat. What's good, Otis?
Yes, sir. Man, yes, sir.
My brother Carlos Alvarado with the $2. What up, Jay-Z, Jaffe, and Panel? 92 Metacritic Forza. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Game of the year.
Absolutely, man.
In all genres.
We got Black Time Cruise in the house with the $5. My brother, we're all playing Battlefield, right? And you say I don't support. I'm your top donator. Fuck me, big facts.
Hey, you my richest donator and the cheapest one. Shout out to my bro. Appreciate you though, man. Appreciate
that's
you.
That's why he's rich.
You ain't lying.
Absolutely. Laughing is the cure in the house. What's good? All right, man. Listen, we got 110 people watching. We got 61. Hit the goddamn. Do me a favor, Jaffe, man. Listen, there's a lot of people. They rebel against me and Z, man. We don't know why.
Okay.
You know, but can you please tell the chat to hit the like button? Because last time you did, man, the fucking chat thing went off the meter. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what you have to understand, chat. If you like Z's shit, or if you like anybody's shit, if you hit the like button, all it's really doing is sending an algorithm. It's pinging the algorithm and saying, hey, let more people know about this fucking show so more people come in here. And then Z can pick up the phone and say, hey, I have enough of a goddamn audience that I can call Hillary Clinton herself and say, let's get you on the show to talk about you drinking baby blood. That's the kind of shit. No. That's the kind of shit that you can get. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet, but there's a big fucking actress who reached out to me the other day and said, I want to come on your fucking show. Don't ask me how she even knows about my fucking show. So y'all hit the goddamn like button because, motherfucker, I want to hear Hillary Clinton.
Absolutely.
All right.
Goddamn. See, the meter went off. Already at 100 likes. Goddamn.
Hey, put your like videos on private.
I wish that fucking would have worked when I told him to buy Drawn to Death, but I guess not.
Oh, man. See, Jaffe, you were supposed to bring that idea over to us so we can go out there and get it popping, man. We would have had everybody named Mama playing Drawn to Death. You know what I'm saying?
That would have been great.
Could have exploited that.
Yeah.
Greatness 84 with the $2. What's good, Z?
What's up, brother?
What's good, my brother?
What's going on?
It rubs the lotion on its skin in the house. Oh man.
Him just put this in these two Facebook group. We ready to go. Expected it might expand your mind. But anyway, this believe it or not, this in particular show has been in a long time in the making. We said we was going to do one and talk about UFOs, aliens, and religion. And honestly, I don't know where Jaffe stands. So this is really, you know what I mean? Either way.
He is an experiencer.
Well, I didn't know that. We about to find out live now, Buck. You know more than I know. All right. So, but like I said, it should be a very, very. It's always a fun time, when we get together and shoot this shit. You know what I mean? So, like I said, we're gonna talk about the remakers of Saturn. Guy, I forgot what did he do? He had a couple patents, but if I'm not mistaken, he made the not saying the Hubble telescope, but something like that along those lines there. But anyway, he
was a NASA researcher for quite some time.
Yeah, and worked for them. Then he got a job outside of them, but was he put in his book. You know what I mean? He was able to take. This is before the days of David. You know what year that Photoshopping? Not Photoshopping. Photoshop. What year did that come out? What's Adobe, whatever the hell?
Oh, Photoshop? Oh, I don't know. My guess would be like 92 or something.
Okay, so you have a lot of those UFOs. People say, oh, that's Photoshop. Well, see, this is like, what's the guy named with one arm that was taking the photos out in, what else? Oh, my God, what's his name?
Winter Soldier?
No. What the hell is his name?
That was history.
Oh, my God, the guy with one arm. It would take the fucking photo.
The Fugitive?
No, he would take the super duper clear photos of the fucking UFOs and shit.
The drummer from Def Leppard.
No. You guys are bugging my God. I'm bad with names. But anyway.
I know what you're talking about. Billy Myers.
Billy Myers. There you go. Billy Myers. And people said he was that's Photoshop. And this is back. I mean, he has some of the most clearest photos ever, just to this day. And he was taking this shit with a regular goddamn, with one arm. Man and Ray Little Means. Like I said, this was before the days of Photoshopping. So, but anyway, I guess before, he retired, a lot of those guys like him or Boyd Bushman, I thought that this should have been, they, let them take their stuff, some of their photos, whatever the case, because they thought a lot of this stuff would be public, 30 years, 40 years from now. You know what I mean? So that's how, this stuff came to be. But this is for the days of, like I said, Photoshop. And also, I want to touch on, I mean, guys, we can talk about a little bit of religion if you want to. I don't know what your stance on that, whether you're Muslim, Dalai Lama, whatever the hell you believe in. And what humans genetically modified. You know what I mean? I'll get your takes on that. And of course, you heard about the whole Anunnaki thing. Do you think, do you believe in creationism, Adam and Eve? Do you believe that in Darwinism theory? Do you believe that, we evolved from apes, chimps, or whatever the hell the case may be? And whatever else comes up between now and without, throughout the conversation. You know what I mean? Get your thoughts, you know what I mean? Sit back and let you, what do you think about a few things? But we all caught up on it, shouted everybody out. We all caught up in there on that way, J-Dub?
Yeah,
any bills?
We got a couple more bills.
Praise God.
We got Rob with the $2. Said hit that like button only because Jaffe said so. Oh man, he hit the like button because of Jaffe. See what
damn right.
JFK TV with the $5. Space is scary, but the ocean is scarier. Space is out there, but the ocean is here as fuck. Absolutely. What up, Z? What up, Sir J? JF House Dub. We got what up, Jaffe? My brother, what's good with you, man?
Who's that right there?
Doing good today.
Oh, hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
All right. So, it's crazy, right?
It's true.
I know. So, what do you guys want to tackle first? You want to start with were humans genetically modified? You want to start with that?
Yeah. That sounds good. Let's start with that.
Okay, I'll make it. Oh, I guess somebody send me something. Okay, yes. So okay, cool. We can start with that. First of all, Jaffe. First of all, for those
Freddie, you piece of shit, you have no idea how much I know about this shit. Don't fucking get.
Freddie about to start his shit.
Go back to work, Freddie. We know you're at work right now. Fucking motherfucker.
Oh man.
Hey, Freddie, so start that shit, man. Come on, man. So anyway, first of all, like I said, for those of you that may be new to this show here, this will expand your mind. This is not to disrespect anybody. Whatever you may believe in or whatever, just to have a conversation. Sometimes these shits, people, anything dealing with race or politics and religion get kind of heated. I ain't trying to disrespect, just in the conversation. I mean, don't get caught up in the theatrics. But like I said again, this show right here in particular, just to have a conversation outside of gaming. Cause I'm quite sure my man Jaffe, been, older than I've been around, you know what I mean? He may have some own experiences, his own thoughts, you know what I mean? Even culturally, you know what I mean? But as far as, like I said, are you religious, man, by chance? Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. God, no.
I said, God, no.
No, I think, the only conflict I have about religion is I absolutely, and this will sound condescending, but it is what it is. But I absolutely have sympathy for the people who take a great deal of comfort from religion, because life is incredibly chaotic and scary, and nothing makes any fucking sense. And the more we learn about things, the less sense in some ways it makes. So I have sympathy for the need for religion for some people, but I vacillate between that sympathy and the great harm that it does to this day, and how limited we are because we haven't been able to really dive into better critical thought and better analytical thought and certain science, because we're still living in sort of a Puritan paradigm, at least in America.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, So I guess the nature, I guess, of a man being coddled, whatever the case may be. Some of you guys may know my thoughts. But what are your thoughts, great Father Tom and Jada, as far as religion? You know what I mean? Even though I know you guys. What are your thoughts about it?
I'm kind of the same mind. I think there's a need for it for the most part, because it does set a set of barriers in a foundation of morals and standards that a lot of people abide by. So I'm okay with that, but because there's so many different religions and so many different subsects of those religions, so many denominations and stuff like that, people generally go into the whole tribe mentality where mine is right and yours is wrong, and that kind of led us to where we are today with all the fucking wars and all the other bullshit that goes on. I believe in spirituality. Religion is a form of something that one can participate if they feel like it, but I don't think it's needed to get your end goal. So, you know, to each his own. That's kind of.
I think the ETs gave us all the religions. How about that?
Oh, well, we
control civilizations.
Yeah, that's not.
Let me. Can I say something about that? But because for the longest time, I had heard that. You know, and you can trace this back. Oh, religion exists because it's the way to control people, and the church wants power, and this wants power, and the Taliban want power. And I'm sure there's a great deal of evidence to show that. But the older I get, and we were kind of talking about this before the show started with this QAnon shaman's lawyer today. And I don't know if you saw this, but I'm just going to read you briefly what he said.
Okay.
This is literally in his court filings. He says a lot of the defendants, talking about the people who stormed the Capitol, he said they're fucking short bus people. This is the lawyer who's defending one of these guys. These are people with brain damage. They're fucking our word, but they're our brothers, our sisters, our neighbors, our co-workers, and they're part of our country. They're not bad people. They don't have prior criminal history. Fuck, they were subjected to 4+ years of goddamn propaganda, the likes of which the world has not seen since fucking Hitler. This is what the lawyer of these motherfuckers defending, you know, is saying about these people. So as it ties back to religion, the older I get and the more I see things, the more I wonder, and this is going to sound so condescending, but the more I wonder about the fact that maybe religion was put in place and remains in place, not so people can have power, but because there is a large percentage of humanity that are just fucking stupid. I mean, it's like, look, you're not mature enough to handle driving by yourself yet. You need the training wheels, and this sounds terrible, but it's starting to, you know, you see more evidence of it all the time.
Okay, all right.
So basically, some people need religion.
What? Well, okay. How about this then? Right, I'm gonna look at it as being half, because we just look at it for the good. All right, because there's a lot of bad stuff in that book. Like we tend to, you know, gloss over. You know what I mean? And a lot of wild stuff that's in that book. You know what I mean? Just I'm God, a jealous God, and. You know, it's just, you know what I mean? You know, he's gonna kill all the firstborn sons and hair. A lot of crazy stuff in the books.
But that kind of extreme stuff probably has to be in there to control. If it is about controlling, I think you probably have to have that, because that. Just look at politics nowadays. The more angry, the more solid your base, right?
Yeah, it's totally true.
So it kind of works that way too.
Okay. So what? Okay.
Listen, there is a need, right? The only reason that this stuff even exists in this modern era is because man still don't know where we come from. We still don't know why we're here, how we got here. We're still searching, right? This is why we still stealing billions of dollars, sending probes out in space, still trying to figure out that number one word. Where the hell did we come from? How did we get here? And what is our position here? Why are we here? What is our purpose? That's all they're doing. And so these religions, right, it fills in those blanks. It tells you this is why you're here, this is what you're supposed to do here, and this is what comes after here. And people abide by that because we just don't know. But the scientific community said, obviously they don't believe, they don't subscribe to that theory, so they're still out there looking and trying to find a way.
Okay.
But I don't agree with you that the reason religion has the hold on people that it does is because they just want to know the answers. I mean, like we were talking before the show, what kind of a fucking weird ass world do we live in where 3 or 4 months ago you literally had the Pentagon and you literally had members of the Senate talking and admitting there are things flying around our skies that do not match up with any known technology that is clearly decades, if not centuries, ahead of what we're capable of. And they literally say one of the possible scenarios is these are coming from off planet. And it barely made a blip on people's radar. They weren't paying attention to it. It was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Hey, look over there. What's happening, with celebrities, or what's happening with Trump or whatever. So the idea that we're really into religion because we're searching for some sort of reason, I think if that was the case, we would have reacted to this UFO story as a population in a much stronger way. I think it's more because we're still very tribal. A lot of us have not evolved as a species yet, and we're terrified of what's happening in the world, and religion gives us a sense of community and a sense of safety and a sense of...
Okay, what about this then? Okay, well, how about this then? Because religion, short for region, right? More or less, keep it a buck, right? Religion and this stuff is a very, very young concept, very young. Homo sapiens, well, because, well, here's the thing. When I think, me, especially people of color, has done more harm than good. Because you can't point to me throughout no time in history where without one of those mainstream religions, whether it's Judaism, Christianity, or Islam, was the forced upon my people during the time of servitude, right? And they use those same books and the religions, slaves will be your master, your earthly masters, and all that stuff, to, chattel slavery, to do what was done, right? But we talking about a very, very young concept. Again, man, and this you got Neanderthals, Cro-Magnon man, the Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, which we are, have been on this earth for hundreds and thousands of years. Christianity, we're talking about something that's 6,000 years old. What did we do before then?
Well, what do you mean? What did we do before then?
Before Christianity, before Islam.
With our poop.
Before Judaism, right?
You're idiots.
No, I know it's because
there were Asian religions, and there were the Celts, and there were there's even cave people. If you look at cave walls and burial rites and things like that, there's an indication that even back in those times there was a sense of something beyond what we
higher
could see.
Than us. Higher than us, which is cool, right? Okay, so this I'm of course you've heard of the Sumerians, and not saying that they are, but because they're credited being the first civilization, right? Not saying they were the first people, but to be the rules, the checks to be part of a civilization. It's a bunch. speech, rules, laws. It's a bunch of check marks, box that to be put up there, right? You have something called they call the Sumerian tales of creation, right? If you haven't heard, it's it's the first fought with the Old Testament, aka the Tanakh, aka the Torah, right? And this is my issue. Not saying that it is a problem, right? Because you had the first form of religion, mainstream, not modern three. You had Judaic Hebrews, right, and the Tanakh, the Torah, and this is what starts the conflict. And we flipping, we go wherever you want to go from this, right? They look at Christians like they're crazy because they have their Tanakh, aka their Torah, a part of their Christian Bible, which has nothing to do with Christianity. So you have that rift there. Then came along Islam, has their stories, their prophets, a part of their Quran, which has nothing to do with Christianity. So you have that rift there. But my only issue, again, is we can have fun with this and we get your thoughts on this, right? You have the Sumerian tales of creation. In school, growing up, we were all taught that the Egyptians, right, built the pyramids. When they hear you have a culture, a civilization, talking about those very said pyramids that predate the Egyptian empire by thousands of years, right? That's what you get a little through. So you have those stories in what the Sumerian tells creation, right? Let us create the Adam, the Adam, the worker, the mule, the slave, after our image and after our likeness, right? I'm gonna get your thoughts, Jaffe, and then we get the bills. If I'm not mistaken, Jews, right? Hebrews, they don't believe in the Trinity, right? They believe in one Father, Abba. Even supposing when Jesus was on the cross, it said, Abba, forgive them for they know not what they do, right? So there are numerous times in the Old Testament, right? Not the New Testament, and God being important as plural. Even the word Elohim makes gods in plural. Let us, how you say, let us create man after our image and after our likeness. So the first question is, who was us and who was our, right? Then you got the story of the Tower of Babel. Let us go down there and confuse man's tongue. So who that was us, right? So like I said, they wouldn't put it, how you say, quote unquote, God, in there as in plural, more than one, right? So it says, I'm God, a jealous God, putting no other gods before me, right? So, and again, I know this what comes to like the discrepancy here. If you have a culture, again, they're to be considered a Jew or Hebrew is to be a descendant of Abraham. They predate Abraham by thousands of years, right? That's their story, that's their culture. But as time changed, but which is not again even the story of the flood. Noah. And it said, take two of every animal. They said they took the seed of every animal. They were talking about genetics and shit thousands of years ago. You know what I mean? So when they found those Sumerian clay tablets in that cave, it was so far advanced from what they were back then, like in the 40s. They thought the motherfucker had like a vivid imagination. These people talked about, instead of calling the Earth, how you say it, we said it's the third planet. They said it was the seventh planet, and their creators came from, planet X, whatever, whether you believe them or not. And they said that they, again, were genetically modified. So like I said, even for us, religion, and these people, again, they didn't have a religion, but they more or less, they walked and talked amongst their gods. Shit, they'd be funky if you believe in Adam and Eve didn't have a religion. Right? They didn't have a religion, and
that's true.
They didn't. And they had and they didn't have a Bible book. They had supposedly a one-on-one. They was able to walk and talk, to their God. You know what I mean? They went to, like I said, thousands of years later, they didn't have a book nor a Bible. You know what I mean? And just like I said, that's where things get a little tricky. And you think about it, so damn. And why we're not taught so much more about, like, it kind of reminds me of Tesla, about the Sumerians. You know what I mean? And if they're, like I said, they're credited to being the first civil. What are your thoughts? You never heard of the Sumerians? Like, everything we have today, the fact that, we break seconds into minutes, minutes into hours, hours into days, days into weeks, weeks into months, months into years, all that shit come from them. And if you don't think about man, we're very selfish. And they said all of their teachings came from, quote unquote, the Anunnaki. And they said they were genetically, we talking about Jaffe, we talking about shit. Thousands of years ago. You know what I mean? These people gave, to these other beings, the sons of, in the Bible it says that that's what gets the chick a little tricky. They don't like to talk about the sons of man. The sons of God found the daughters of man fair. They wed them and gave birth to a race of giant and Nephilim and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? They came down here and took wives. Like, what are your thoughts about that? And where, like I said, the inception of Hebrewism. You know what I mean? Not saying it was fake or real or whatever because these bills, but it comes from the Sumerian. That's not really not even for the bits. That's the truth. It comes from the Sumerian tells creation.
That just lends more credibility for all these different religions coming from somewhere else. To me, I mean, if they're repeated, it's just a new iteration, revisions, because they worked before.
Yep.
What they it wasn't a religion though. It was just
maybe even on another planet.
Is Jaffe talking? His mic is just there. You there, Jaffe?
I'm just listening. I
don't. So I didn't want to. So you never heard of that or no?
No, I have. I don't. It doesn't really hold a lot of water with me. Not the Sumerian part, but the idea of. So if we were created by ancient aliens and they came down here and seeded the planet, or they spliced some, they used an ancient version of CRISPR to turn apes into man and all this stuff. Great, but it's weird to me that the Bible or the New Testament or the Torah or what have you has so much specificity in it about all kinds of things. And yet that seems to be missing. There are allusions, like you said, giants, and you can read certain passages of the Bible in a way that suggests, hey, that sounds like a spaceship or whatever. But then it gets very specific about the kind of garments that you can wear on a certain day or what crops you can plant next to each other in a specific garden. But it's not telling that, hey, there were these creatures that came down and gave us. I mean, it's weird. It's selectively missing from a book that's very specific about a lot of other things. So if they did that, why didn't they leave behind any evidence?
You don't think so? Okay. No, okay.
But that's because
I think they did though. We'll get the bills right quick. They're gonna disappear right quick. Hold on. They did leave a lot. They did leave a lot.
With the $2.
Mm-hmm.
Look at J-Dub trying to sound smart. He don't only cap. Oh man, start me out. Fab 6 with the $2. Check out the documentary Above Majestic.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Rossetti with the $5. Praise.
Oh, hello. You went out? Is that me or just the Discord? What sounds bad? Hello, J-Dub. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. J-Dub, is that just me, or does it sound bad to everybody else in here too? How about hop in, brother? I can't hear nothing. Oh, this shit sounds bad. Wait, oh man, they shutting this down. Let me hop out and hop in. Hold on, Jesus. They trying to shut us down. Shut us down. Hello? Hello? Oh my God. Look at this shit here. Look at this shit. Look at this shit here. Hold up. Hello? Oh wow! I think everybody. This sounds bad here. I can't hear nobody. Can you guys hear me? No. Do I sound clear to you guys? All right. Let me go. Come up to another room. See. Try this room here. Yeah. Hello. No. Maybe everybody hop out and hop back in because this I can't hear anybody unless it's on my end. Me. Let me hop out and hop in. Hold on 1 second. That shit sounds crazy. Quit Jigsaw. Let me open it back up. Hello. Oh, there we go.
Oh, you hear it?
Yeah. Now.
Well, Jaffe, think about it, Jaffe. It's because their grandparents and their parents, their grandparents, and their parents before that have told them to think a certain way.
Well, first of all, Jaffe should repeat that. Too.
Yeah, I can't hear nothing, but I can hear you now. You finish the bills, I can hear shit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Erotimus with the $5. Hearing y'all talk about religion is like hearing Tyler's talk nuclear physicists.
Yeah.
Nuclear physics. Shaking my head.
Yeah, that's who we were reacting to just now.
Yeah. Hold on, let me finish the bills.
Oh, and by the way, Above Majestic, David Wilcox is a fraud. So just so you know, his information is bullshit, a lot of it. So I still watched it and enjoyed it, but it's got a lot of bullshit in there.
Master Sith 40 with the $5. Napoleon said the poor would kill the rich without religion.
Yes.
Thanks, Jay and Jaffe, for doing the show.
Yes, it's just something he said. Religion keeps the poor from killing the rich. Absolutely.
Yeah, it keeps them at bay. Stony 917 with the $5. There's also a theory that states that UFOs come from inside the Earth.
Yes.
Look up Agartha. It also coincides with the hollow Earth theory.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
that it does.
Those have always been around. I mean,
Admiral.
No more Oscar with the $5. Jaffe looked like God of War Kratos if he got diabetes. God damn. Also, Post uses Uber on Forza 5. Oh man.
Allow me to speak to that just briefly. So no more Oscar, your criticism and insult would hold a little bit more weight with me if I wasn't looking at your avatar. It looks like you want to be in a boy band, but nobody else showed up. That's what it looks like in your fucking avatar picture. So once you can get your fucking visage together in a way that's not embarrassing, then you can comment on my looks, motherfucker. My looks were fine for your mother last night. She didn't know. She still fucking paid me the same.
Oh, shit, here we go. Ambush journalism. All right, hold on. Let me scoot up.
Yeah, Rossetti with the $2. God, cut J-Dub mic. Oh, man. Hey, all right, we good. Okay, let
me move myself over so we can see Jaffe there.
Yeah, Jaffe.
Okay.
It's hard to get a group of people that have been told since birth to think one way, that was given their religion, and they have to do that, right? It's hard to get them to not do it, because that would be admitting that mom was wrong, dad was wrong, grandmother was wrong, and so on and on and on.
I get it, but that's what when I'm not being condescending when I say that a lot of people need to evolve. I don't mean that like I'm being a dick. I mean that like there is a point where I think critical thinking and questioning becomes the norm for certain people, that you get to a certain age and you go, wait a minute, the shit you're telling me, mom, dad, grandma, whatever, it's like, I get that that's tradition and that's great, and we can enjoy that. My dad was a Jew till the day he died, but he had no idea if any of it was true, and he was open to admitting it. He's like, I like the culture of Judaism. It reminds me of growing up. It brings me a great deal of comfort and faith and warmth. But he's like, I don't know if there's a God. So I think there's a point where people need to get comfortable with the unknown and just go, raise your kids to be more, fine with it, and go, yeah, you can question, you can wonder, because otherwise you're just setting your kids up to be these easily led, easily controlled people. And I can't fathom how that's a good thing. I mean, unless fundamentally there are just stupid people and they're not smart enough to do that.
Is control bad?
Pastor, don't come in with this shit. We got a different type of conversation, Pastor. Come on. Don't come in with this weird, with that dog shit ass mic. All right, so
you sure?
Yeah, with that dog shit ass mic. We can barely hear you. So anyway, I missed up half of not half, but what was said, or I can see clearly now. But what you said was a lot of stuff mentioned before we even get into, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on that. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is that let me say like this: let's not get confusing. If you have this, right, and what I'm saying, right, this is what I'm saying. If you have what the Sumerians are saying, right, and it's not even a debate, right, because it's not even saying what came first, the chicken or the egg. They predate the Hebrews by thousands of years, right? We already had those same stories, right? And whether it's the Tower of Babel, let us go down and confuse man's tongue, right, and all that stuff there, right? It's all there in what they put. Then 1,000 years later, you had the Tanakh, or aka the Torah, right? And you have Hebrews, and then so many whatever years later came along Christians or Christianity, right? Cool. But in itself, religion, is a man-made concept, which it is, and a very young concept is what I'm saying, right? So I'll give you an example. It's the story of a deity dying and coming back 3 days. That predates Jesus. They had each other area of culture had them. Had that before, quote unquote, Christianity, right?
Yeah, six other religions already had that before Christianity was born.
I'll be even more specific, right? So, and it's a very, because I always go back to this and before when they have these conversations, right? Well, it says that I'm God, right? I'm a jealous God, right? Put no other God before me. And even when whatever you say, when your prayer, you say amen, right? Am I right? Our Father who art in heaven, just that, you end that with amen. So if you don't even read it, amen, short, amen, Ra, they get the Egyptian sun god, right? Ra, amen, Ra, right? Which again predates Christianity by thousands of years. And I remember it was crazy, right? Arada, shout out to you, good brother. You want the breath, and I was talking to him about that, and he's, bro, that's some things, again, it's not even up for debate when you try to spin it, because most of the times, one of these mainstream religions was forced upon us, and we don't do the reading or the corpus, how you say, of the word, like even the word virgin, it doesn't mean, it's a Greek word, actually, it doesn't mean, in the Bible, it say that Mary was a virgin, right? It sounds very, how you say, immaculate conception. It means that she was unmarried. Which actually what it means, unwed, unmarried. And it's a Greek word, right? But when if you want to make it seem, even dealing with Islam, when you say Prophet Muhammad was illiterate, actually the word means that it's unlearned, right? Not that man couldn't read it right, but it sounds more spiritual or whatever, more divine when it said that when the angel Gabriel came to him and it was recited Ithaca, and his well, I forgot the word, and recited to him, and he had 76 books. A man that couldn't read or write, more or less, Arabic. You know what I mean? Actually, for the Arabic language was that far advanced back then. You know what I mean? So that makes it more, I guess, spiritual. So when I look at these books, right, or these religions, right, so I have a degree in history, right, and you take a theology class, so and just looking at just, it's welcome, and maybe it's maybe a little wrong, but we switch topics, as it's done more harm for my not saying my people of color, you know what I mean, and I just sit back in this day and age, you know what I mean. If I don't know if you've heard about that black museum they got down in Washington D.C., and you read those slave diaries, how they would use the little black baby as gator baits, and that mother sat on the bed, crying and screaming to Jesus for their, as they're actually dunking their 2-year-old in the bayous to catch gators, right, and crying out that Jesus, the Dalai Lama, whoever, and not one time were their prayers answered. You know what I mean? You understand? So it's like, how much, because I guess, believe it, religion is a poor man concept. You know what I mean? Because you got some of the most righteous
people don't believe in that shit.
Yeah, you got some of the most, people poor people. Just think about that pray 5 times a day, get this, that, and the other. You got a church in only in poor neighborhoods. You know what I mean? You got a church in the liquor store and got shit out there hooping.
They're supposed to get their payoff when they die.
We didn't convince ourselves. We gotta, and I won't say it's a black thing or a white thing, because believe it or not, it's a poor thing. You know what I mean? Because that we didn't convince ourselves that we have to go through hell to get our heaven. You know what I mean? And with God, He's gonna come back and strike down. When in who time? When is He gonna come back and slay the wicked? And they're still they're still willing of what was done, like I said, to people. So I just think about it as this, and I'm gonna shut up after this, because I look at anybody this day and age, and with so much at their disposal, they can read for themselves. You know what I mean? Back then, fine, I understand. We didn't know too much about it, but at their disposal, we know this shit doesn't make sense. How you say scientifically? So now, when it doesn't add up, or when they wasn't talking figuratively, literally, so when the world's gonna end in Revelation, the stars are going to fall on Earth. Now we know scientifically that shit can't happen. But back then, the people thought every time they had a hurricane or flood, God was mad. Let's go out there and cut a turkey's throat or some shit. You know what I mean? Look, prime example, modern day, World War II, right? Check this shit out, right? This is fact. So now our technology got better. So during the war, we was fighting. How you say they would call them? What they call them? The axis of evil. You had Japan, Italy, and Germany, right? So they would go to these little islands in the Pacific, whatever, and they would just set up strip there, right? And so they couldn't fly. Planes couldn't fly that far before they would fuel up. So you had a bunch of indigenous people. So they never really seen planes or white people before, right? So so when they seen these people in these planes, hence we go back with religion. They will worship them as gods, right? There's a documentary on Vice right now, right? Check this shit out, right? So after the war was, they would build these straw planes and shit, and they would pray to them. That shit became a thriving religion over in them little ass islands. And when they went back there and tried to tell it, they wasn't God. There was a breakdown of their society, what little bit they had in advance, that it wasn't real. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that's fact. You know what I mean? That when they went to say, no, we're not gods, we're humans, just a deal, because they never seen the plane, or you talking about somebody that's, living, indigenous people that's living out in the bush somewhere, and you see these, big tanks, and say, what the fuck is this? Like, you gotta, you know what I mean? Bigger than I. You gotta be something that has to be praised. So that was a growing, thriving religion on them little islands over there, right? So when they went back so many years later and tried to say no, it was like a total, like, it can't, like, it would set them back to ground zero. They couldn't believe it. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they couldn't wrap their head around that shit there. You know what I mean?
See,
yeah, absolutely.
could I say something? You all understanding me? Am I coming across clear? Could I ask a question?
You're clear.
Now, Z said that, he is very, known for history. Is there any time in observable history that mankind was without serving some sort of god or religion? has man ever been without religion or
religion?
or God?
Yeah.
Or any?
If you're saying religion is a very young concept. We have been on this planet for hundreds.
What is religion?
Religion? Look at the definition, which is actually so from your region where you came from, more or less religion, but that's neither here nor there. We getting too deep in it.
Turpitude of a region.
Yeah, but because then your how you say your culture and all was kind of one, kind of went together. You know what I mean? So
I think I phrased the question wrong. Is there any civilization in recordable history that
did have a religion
that never had a god or worship a god or so?
Worship?
Is there any civilization?
China doesn't have a god. China doesn't have a religion.
China has Shinto. It has the
I'm not saying there aren't
faiths.
I'm not saying there aren't religions that exist within China, but if you're saying is there a civilization that doesn't have a religion, if you go over to China and say what is your religion, they would say, we're not religious here. There are people who are religious, but I imagine in any culture and civilization, are you talking about a percentage of the people that live in that civilization? Because I mean, every civilization is going to have a fringe.
Yeah, no. When I say civilization, I mean a civilization would, as you say, made up of 100% of the people. Within the civilization, it might have outliers who do not believe in a creator, but generally, with civilization in any time in history, never believed in a god, never believed in some sort of faith.
God, Lord.
Well, again, I mean, what do you think China? What do you think the modern Chinese civilian? What is the national religion?
You got people now that don't believe in that stuff, Joe.
Yeah, just atheists.
So are you saying that throughout China history or Chinese history they never worship a god?
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying modern China today.
Okay.
No, well, yes, I know that there are some persons in China who don't worship God, yes, but there are also.
All right, where you going with this, brother? You getting long one? Where you going with this?
Yeah, you're not really phrasing your question well then. You're basically asking me, is there 100%, is there ever a culture where 100% of the people living in it?
100%. I'm talking about the majority then. The majority believe in.
Well, where you going with this though? I don't understand. What's the...
Right. So the reason why I asked that question is that why has man throughout history always have a need, no matter how primitive,
to worship something bigger than himself?
Try to worship. Why is there a need to worship? Why is that?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Hey, listen. Why is there a console war? That's within us. The bigger. I mean, listen. But okay, hold up, Pastor, because you about to take the shit for nothing. They ain't about to argue with you. You have a lot of stuff because what you believe. I ain't got anything. No, we ain't about to do this today. But what I was saying again, I look at it as of now, and you know what I mean, Jaffe. Where I look at it and all that that has done to people, because even it was just how Oxford or Yale just took a study. Just the people here, you know what I mean. In America, why our society is, how we're falling behind other countries, because we think that, hey, we ain't got to get it right. We're gonna put it in God's hands. You know what I mean? And He gonna come back and whatever. You know what I mean? The right, the wrong. I'm just saying what I was saying before he hopped in here with this delusion and confusion as a people. And you know what I mean? Is that all the has done to, like I said, to my people? You cannot say that they didn't use these books to enslave us. If let's look at this, and I'm gonna switch topic. Okay, we need some other shit.
Guys, can I answer this show guy's question? Because the question is the question gets asked a lot, and it always presents itself as some sort of gotcha question, like, oh, see, if there was no God, why does man believe? And it's like, there's a lot of things that we do by instinct that are biological or outcomes of biological evolution to keep us alive. The idea that there may very well be some kind of spiritual gene in the brain that does tie us to where we came from before, or that may very well be simply a evolutionary tactic that instead of us losing our minds and literally becoming psychopaths because life is absolutely chaotic and it makes no fucking sense, that the brain over time developed a spiritual gene to say that will keep people kind of grounded until they are evolved enough to recognize sort of the fact is that this is just all a happy accident. There is no answer to your question, but the answer is not just because we as a very new species have responded to that chaos and that confusion in a specific way over time. That doesn't mean that the answer is God. That just means that's how we've responded to it. But what we're really responding to is what is happening? Why are we here? What happens when we die? This is fucking scary as shit, man. That's what it is.
No, that was an excellent answer, but that would also lead to another question. Is it illogical to believe in a God?
Yes.
Why you say yes?
Because what's logical about it? It's like saying, is it logical to believe in that Mr. P is the president?
I can give you a logic.
Give me one piece of light. By the way, China recognizes 5 religions, but none of them are the majority. Most people are atheists. But keep going. Yeah, sure. Tell me why it's rational to believe in a God.
Okay, beautiful. So it is logical to believe in a God because not something cannot come from nothing.
It says you. I asked my daughter.
Says some of the most brilliant minds in the world, like Einstein. Einstein believed in a God.
Einstein didn't. No, he did not. No, he did not.
Yes. Go and do the research. Einstein believed in a God.
I have done the research. He was an atheist. He was taught. He mentioned God. I assure you, he didn't. But keep going.
Yeah, they don't deal with it.
No. What I'm saying is that there is no evidence to show in any circumstance, any time in history, that something came from nothing.
That's simply not logical. That is okay. For what you have to understand, the reason you lose the logic debate is it's the same way of I'm looking at my dog right now. I have a very smart dog according to the trainers and the breeders and all that. However, if I went to my dog and I said, "What is 3 times 17 minus 4?" he wouldn't have a good goddamn idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, the idea that you, that you literally feel that you have arrived at the level of insight and thinking that you understand how everything works is the fallacy. That is the problem. Is that
I'm not saying that, Jaffe.
You are
saying that.
You're saying when in existence has anything ever come from nothing? And I'm going, first off, who says anything came from?
Well, the belief. If there is a belief that there isn't a God, then the train of argument is that
okay.
We didn't come from a higher being. That's the train of discussion.
Pastor, you're not gonna do this tonight, but I'm gonna say one thing, right? Let's go by what you said, right? Now I'm gonna switch topics because I did one of the other things, right? If you say nothing, if nothing came from something, then who created God? Where did he come from? Going by what you're saying. No. Let me finish.
He didn't get anything.
Let me finish. Right. So you're saying that.
I can answer that.
Okay. All right. Fine. You're the magician, right? You're basically saying that nothing. Because it comes from a lack of knowledge. I mean, not saying ignorant to the facts. When you say, well, who created the sun? If you know that the sun is made of gases and stuff. Nothing. Fans, once you educate yourself with some things, the things you think are like mystical, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like we're based of water and carbon, right? Based on water and carbon. That's throughout the goddamn universe. Like it's nothing really unique or makes us special, right? So you have to come up with this this mysterious, God. But this say listen, fine, I give you that. Now that's why we go on another topic. This I give you there is a God, right? All right, look, there is a. Just say, look, fine, there is a God, right? say there was a guy and it was a guy.
It makes sense.
No, to you, that created everything, right? Right? Because if you have, like I said, again, all right, and even the word believe, root word belief is to be unsure. You can't walk into a courtroom and say, hey, I believe that guy shot me. Believe that he's going to work free, right? This is the root word of belief, to be unsure. So if he curated everything, right? Whatever, the good, it said, I am, I would say, the light and the dark, the alpha and the omega, I convert, both bad and good and evil, right? And I'm forever being, this one forever being judged for some shit that he created. Just think about this, right? Which makes no sense. So why would God create murder? Because he created every goddamn thing, you know what I mean?
What's interesting about that is that these guys who believe this are more willing to come up with all kinds of weird logic to answer questions like what Z just asked than they are to actually accept the Occam's razor logic of what is right in front of their fucking face. The idea, I mean, think about this for a minute. The idea that God, this was a great Christopher Hitchens argument against God. The idea that it was only, if you're a Christian and you believe in the Bible, so where the fuck was God the hundreds of thousands of years that man was evolving on the planet? Did we finally arrive at a point where God was like, you know what? I'm going to be absent from their lives with the Bible and with Jesus, but something happened 2,000 years ago that says all these kids were dying, all these people were dying of disease, these people were murdering each other, and God was nowhere to be seen. And God 2,000 years ago says, now it's time to get my hands dirty and get involved. Here's Jesus. It's like none of it makes any fucking sense, but you're more willing to question things that do have answers, like something comes from nothing, and it's like,
let me answer that. And you said something that was very noteworthy there. You said that persons don't like to acknowledge what is right in front of their face, and I can say the same thing about you, because I don't think anyone on this panel could walk up to a house and reason that house came there. The house have design, it have windows, it's painted in different colors, and reason that it came there from nothing, right? And that is right in front of your face.
You can't really say that. You honestly can't really say that, but I don't want to fucking get into the weeds of things like there is no anything. It's just space between vibrating atoms. I mean, ultimately, everything is already here, and it's built with the stuff that exists. So you can say that house came from nothing, but everything all comes from the same thing, and when it gets destroyed, it goes back into the pot, just like Minecraft. I mean,
all right, we got some bills here, and somebody wants to pay to cut his goddamn mic off. Praise God, get the bills here.
Rossetti with the $5. I'm in my room playing in the snow, making snow angels with my nose. Woo! Man. Who else we got here? We got hold on, we got quite a few.
Praise God.
Power Man 4K with the $2. Explain the origin of matter in the universe. Rob with the $2. Somebody pray for Pastor. Fuck nigga just be talking just to be talking. Oh man. Greatness 84 with the $20. Okay, Z. You know I'm down bad, but Pastor gotta go.
Yeah, but
and mute that fuck nigga's mic. Yeah. We're not doing this tonight, so
buddy. Man. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Send me that song, please. Send me that song. You don't believe it.
Wait a minute. He
gone. I just kicked his ass about it. I go through this shit every day.
Joe. An FN. I'm not going to say what it is. I finally learned on your show last time what it is. Joe's a black guy?
Yeah. Oh, greatness?
No, Joe, the guy who was just
he's from Africa somewhere. Yeah, he's from Africa some goddamn way. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, this dog shit, Mike. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, listen, we still believing in talking, burning bushes. And if I came to you and say, Jaffe, brother, I was coming down Yellowstone Park, I seen the burning bush and the talking snake. You had my black ass committed.
No, but I think that's the thing people get confused about. It's like, is there a possibility that there are things in the universe that, or the multiverse that we don't know about that may have aided in, that may have aided in creating us? That is what you would call. And is it possible that our minds have some kind of, whether you get to it through ayahuasca, DMT, prayer, meditation, some kind of spiritual gene that allows us to check in with that part of us? I agree with that.
Yes.
It doesn't, but I also agree with the fact that maybe it's just biology. We don't know. The only answer is we don't know. I literally read an article, not literally, I read an article the other day that literally suggested that mitochondria is actually, we're made up of hundreds of billions or trillions of mitochondria. And ultimately they were saying, this article, which was like from some Stanford guy, going, the human husk, the shell, isn't really the point. The point is the mitochondria, and we are a vehicle for the mitochondria, and consciousness was just sort of a side effect that came out of them getting into this car that they call our body and driving us around for 80, 90, 100 years before we die. I mean, we don't know what's going on, and so the smartest thing we can say is, yeah, I don't know. And be okay with that and get comfortable with that. And then that will allow us to actually learn more shit.
But even with something like, here's the thing, even like I'm okay with saying there's something. I understand this higher than us. What's talking about spiritually, right? But people confuse the two between spiritual. Like, you can be spiritual without being religious. Again, religion is a very, very young concept, right? Very young. We've been here. Not hundreds of thousands. You know what I mean? I can send you an article that, what do you call it? What do they call it? That they found a nuclear reactor in Africa that was maybe a billion years old, or some wild, crazy shit like that. Evidence of that, right? Somebody was here doing some other shit. You know what I mean? That there evidence of how you say that there may have been other civilization that may have been more advanced than us. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Because cool. Cause look, because. How long ago was it that the dinosaurs were supposed to have been there? They find footsteps along, you know what I mean, that have been fossilized along, dinosaur. Yeah, we don't know. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things that are kept from us. Because look, I can just give you an article that the Smithsonian's been sued. They got caught dumping giant goddamn remains and red. You know what I mean? when someone's, like they say, with the hills or the mountains in Ohio, when they find these, when I say giant, we talking about people that may have been 10, 11 feet tall, or 12 feet tall, whatever. Their finger, you know what I mean? That was in Egypt. That was a fossilized, a mummified finger that they found. And they, according to whatever the case may be, if they had that by that person had been 15 feet tall. Shit, the Solomon Islands during World War II in Japan. This is not too long ago. When they went over, I was talking about those islands. They said they motherfuckers was over there. Some giants came out. We talking about motherfuckers 10, 12 feet tall, a race of people. You know what I mean? Whatever fuck with double rows of teeth. The reason why, why we say high or what wave high 5? That came from the Indians because they had six digits on their fingers, right? This is a fact. That's the reason why they think we wave high. To make sure you weren't, I guess, not to give, they call them the Nephilim or whatever, the giants, whatever race of people these people were. You know what I mean? Red hair, reddish hair, double rows of teeth. Big motherfuckers, 12, feet, tall, right? And they had 6 digits on their finger. You can, this is not too long ago, you know what I mean? In the Grand Canyon, they found remains. And again, like this is Smithsonian, would get rid of these remains because at the time it doesn't go according to our quote unquote our evolution, or the way you say Darwinism theory, which they were kind of pumping back then. You know what I mean? You would never ever find a quote unquote missing link. It ain't gonna happen. We didn't evolve from apes. You know what I mean? I don't care how you split it. I mean, there's not no, like I said, apes or primates have, whatever, they have 50 strands of DNA. We have 48. You don't lose two
naturally?
Yeah, you don't lose two whole. Yeah, we don't lose 2 whole chromosomes and come out better. That's a lot of, instructions that we talking about, trillions of billions of code. And you know what I mean? They're strong, or how you say, become weak. They're much, how you say, strong. Ape will rip us a chimp and rip a goddamn. They're 10 times stronger than a human, and to become out smarter. You know what I mean? We are the apex predator on this planet. We hunt shit into goddamn extinction. You know what I mean? Like I said, you just don't lose. You know what I mean? I used to say through natural selection or whatever the hell the case may be, and come out better. I mean. they try to fix this because like, even what, I do against another topic, what creation, right? The whole Adam and Eve thing, right? To even think that the world started from two people, right? Just think about that, right? Two people, right? Adam and Eve, right? Adam and Eve had what? Sons, right?
Two boys, yeah.
Two boys. What was the first bitch sin? Cain killed Abel, right? Cain got put out, whatever they was living at, said he was living on Hollywood Boulevard. He got put out. Then later on the Bible said he wanted to marry a wife that he was older than he. Where the hell did she come from? Yeah. So, you see, I mean, so there's a lot of shit that just don't make sense. Or they tend to fudge it. You know what I mean?
And then they rationalize it, right? A lot of Christians rationalize it by saying, well, because that was early times, they had to commit incest in order to grow the population.
You have this infinite being.
They're willing to accept that narrative than to just fucking
hey,
say,
hold up. Hey, Jaffe, just think with him. I swear we get another topic. We got another one here, right? You have this being.
Go ahead.
You got this being, right? This God, right? That knows everything, sees all, knows all, right? Know you before you was born, all that slick shit, right? Hey, he ain't know the devil was gonna cross him. Just somewhere down the line, hey, he didn't know that, right? He turned the blind eye to that, right? But just say that, hey, you know what? Adam was gonna need a mate. You know, it was what God gave Adam the domain of all the animals in the garden. You go out there and name them, and he came to God. I'm lonely. So you know, let's get Adam a bottom bitch hit. He didn't know that back then, right? But you know, everything started from him. For two people, you got billions of people on this goddamn planet, and everything that doesn't even make. It's not even feasible. Or even when the flood came, you had no one is family on the ark, right? The world repopulated itself against made people. Like that shit is crazy as all hell. Man, but, yeah.
It's dumb. It's a children's story. I'm sorry, but it is. And,
thank you.
And let me tell you why it matters to me, because it's funny. I know you know the title of this is Ringmakers of Saturn.
Yeah, fucking shit. No one left. Yeah, okay.
But it's important. It's actually important because the reason this whole topic is always important to me is the lack of critical thinking and the lack of being willing to say, oh shit, I was wrong, I didn't know that, and how much that's become an ego thing. The Ringmakers of Saturn, you still have people on Reddit, you still have people today making videos suggesting that the rings of Saturn are being regularly refreshed by alien civilizations. All this was debunked by NASA in December of 1980. You literally have proof that guy's book is full of shit. And yet there are still people today that are walking around believing it. It's like people, what we should be doing is teaching people to be comfortable with the unknown, comfortable with the idea of something like God. It's like there may be a higher power that put us here. There may be aliens that came here and messed with DNA to create us. There may not be. It may all be random chance. But wouldn't it be great if we could just accept the starting point being, we don't know, let's go find out together and stop being a bunch of fucking idiots? That would be great.
Okay, how about this then? You didn't took it there. NASA. How much do we want to believe in NASA? You think NASA is 100% honest?
I don't think NASA is 100% honest at all, but I also think that, there's a point that if you choose to not believe NASA, on the thing, if you're selective about what you want to believe with NASA, then the question becomes, what playing field are you playing on? It's like, okay, so do you believe everything or nothing? And then you're just selectively picking like a buffet. It's very easy to argue that your belief system is biased and it's based on the things that you choose to believe and you choose to ignore.
Okay, cool. The reason why I say that, right? I'm quite sure you've seen, what year was that, in 77 when we had the face on Mars. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
When that came out and they got leaked. That got leaked, right? Because, again, if I'm not, what's my man name from Arizona, that John McCain, right? He gave this big speech, I remember, and he told NASA it's going to be a day of reckoning if you find out you're going to be lying, you've been lying to the American people. Then NASA released, they released a couple more photos, right? You had these glass tube structures on Mars. Let's go back to the face of Mars, right? Because now, then they sent another, Voyager past there, right? Now, when you see this picture, it's all kind of blurry. It doesn't look like it did then, right? Now with better cameras and stuff, right? But you know what's trippy, right? Because people that try to use that as, I said I don't really trust NASA. Because if we talking about longitudinal, like, that's, like I say, Cydonia, those structures, quote unquote, supposedly on Mars, that shit's line up point for point to the structures over there in Egypt, the Great Gizarak and all that shit. Point for point, like literally. You know what I mean?
How can it be point for point if Mars and Earth are different sizes?
What I mean by where that is, longitude and latitude, you have a few, what's my man name? Not Paul Rogan. Not Rogan. Not fuck that guy there. Somebody Sagan, the guy that worked in that.
Sagan.
Not Carl Sagan. I forget the guy's name with the curly white dude with the curly hair. Worked in NASA with all of just that and the other. Who I don't know if he was the one that leaked it, but was also saying that NASA airbrushes out fucking photos. However you go, the longitude and latitude and whatever, point for point, they literally kind of meet up, right? Like, you know what I mean?
No, I don't. That's what.
Well, I'm trying to explain too, and not be too. The words. How many actually make the thing up here? I'm not just pulling this out of my ass, but
I don't believe you're pulling it out of your ass, but that's kind of what I mean about there are just truisms and quotes that we just
actually
believe.
It's what the hell you call it? The shape. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Sphere?
No. It's like with the triangle, the pyramid inside of
like a tetrahedron.
Tetrahedron, whatever the hell. But anyway, it's a lot of math. There you go. Within
you're
those
talking about like Richard Hoagland shit.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, that guy there. It's a lot of math in that shit there. It's not by chance. It's not just. It's a lot of fucking math. And how it sits on the. I'll give you an example. How the pyramid sits on one true north. Right. Check it out. Right. Check this shit out. And you can only map that come from down below, right? And then just forget the pyramids. You got the Peru, the designs, right? In the Peru, right? And that the pilot found by mistake by flying whatever the hell, right? So on just by looking at how they mean it, they don't give you the full story. You think it's just these primitive people out there making big snakes or big spiders, right? That's a whole fucking mountain that's been shaved off perfectly. Forget they might have just drew a simple goddamn circle or a spider or an animal, a snake or something, right? Oh, it's not that. Oh, fine. He has some. There was an artiste back then. However long, but that's a fucking mountain the cliff that's been shaved off. And with we have, it would take damn near impossible to do. You're talking about motherfuckers had stone and copper tools back then. So when you get, or even what you call like the Dogon tribe, and they try to discredit them. They said their teachers came from Sirius B, right? Sirius Star B. Well, that's not even naked it's not even visible to the naked eye, right? You can't even say that. These people shouldn't even have knowledge of that. But how you say how, or even like those crop formations, right? Or it was these two farmers out there just in the mid of night. But see, all right, so that's to explain all the fucking around the world, right? But those things are broken. With the ones that have been done, they're changed genetically within the roots, and they're not even broke. They, you know what I mean? They've been like heated in microwave kind of thing. Like I mean, so how you, like the media, look over there with these two farmers, Hillbilly and Jack, out there just making crop formations with boards in the middle of the night for hours, making these elaborate designs. Okay,
and
fine.
There has been students that have done that.
Absolutely. But we talk, but that takes your attention.
Only after.
Yeah, but that takes your attention away.
Of the stocks.
That's been changed genetically.
That's some crazy shit.
And also they caught them on film too. Actually I can put the video up here. These little balls flying around out in these cornfields and shit, right? And say, oh look, you know what? That explains it. And the media say, hey, it's like like the bait and switch, like with NASA, like do I believe we went to the moon? Absolutely. Do I believe that we actually seen what they actually saw? Because you had those hand radio operators that caught the back end channel that said, hey, they're on the left side of the moon or the back end of the moon, and they're huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Cover-up
all that stuff. I believe we went to the moon too. All that stuff gets lost.
But the problem I have with it is the same problem I have with religion. It's not that I don't believe it's possible. And do I think that NASA has covered things up just like the rest of government agencies? Of course. Absolutely, for various reasons. But the idea, though, that, what seems to be happening more and more that I think is destructive and worrisome, not just from a culture standpoint, but from a standpoint and of actually somebody who genuinely wants to know what the fuck is going on, is we will believe the things that fit the narrative that we already have, right? I mean, the idea of what you were just saying about the pyramids lining up with the structures on Mars.
I'll get you right now. Look,
I literally just put a link in the chat showing that has been debunked numerous times. It's simply not accurate, but that becomes a talking point that travels and travels and travels to the point that people don't even question it. And so the same thing with the moon. There's all this talk about the ham radio guys who heard, I think it was Neil Armstrong. There was like 8 minutes of blackout that happened on the moon, and they're saying, oh, the ham radio guys heard it, even though it wasn't broadcast. But if you go down that rabbit hole with an open mind, and I'm not saying NASA's telling the truth or not, but there are reasonable explanations for what was actually happening there. And so
there's a lot of grifters too.
There are. So it's not, I think you have to be just as agnostic about this stuff as you are about religion, because there's so many people who are telling you what happened and we don't know.
I'll say that about Richard Hoagland too. He comes from a starting place of there's, like the shit that photo brushing back in the day, the in the face on Mars and the little things here and there. But over the years, it's kind of like he's got to build his own cinematic universe, right? He's got to build his mythology to keep going. Because I used to listen to him back on RPL, and it just outlandish and crazy over the years.
So to that link he put out, right? I can raise you 5 links that says from other people, from other whatever that work. You know what I mean? Here's the thing, right? I'm gonna be realistic, right? You have what's my saying here? I have no integrity, right? Whatever the case, right? Or what's the guy name that wrote the book The Day After Roswell? Connor, what's my man?
Colonel Corso.
All right, Colonel Corso, right? Live life as a straight shooter. Wait till you get up to this age, you know what I mean, and saying how you had the down, UFO that in Roswell, and how they, because remember they said they found it also, right? The next day they changed it, right? So it was just a weather balloon, right? And it said that it was his job to take to back engineer it. And that's how we got microwaves for bulletproof vests. What does this man have to gain? Man about to die. It makes any sense, right? Not just him. You got a whole town that, as Older said, we was threatened by the military. You know what I mean? How you say, or people back then were, like say, more patriotic. You know what I mean? It's your civil duty, national security. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And or you know what I mean? That they feel like the people couldn't accept it, right? Because here's the thing, right? Couldn't accept it. And that's just talking again about religion, right? They couldn't accept that you had, which is the craziest shit in the world. If you believe in this God, you have gazillions of planets. What is the very difference of the planet to house life? So if your God, you believe it made all these planets for nothing to live there and be barren, right? But then the reason why they don't want to believe, why? I done had countless conversations because it's not in the Bible. You have a lot of shit. We got fried chicken. I got video games. That's real, right? That's not in the Bible. But I don't see what someone to live their life as a straight shooter, right? He's credible. As soon as they come out and said, hey, this is what happened. This is what we did. Now he's a nut or a lunatic. You can't say that the government doesn't indulge in misinformation and smear campaigns, because they do.
No, I agree they do. But I think the problem is, if you're going to basically go, the government is always lying, I think that's a fair, I don't agree with that, but I think that's a fair position to take. But at that point, then that doesn't give people carte blanche to say, because they're always lying, I've pulled this crazy theory off the internet and that must be true.
Okay. But is it so crazy though? To say that the government's always telling the truth. If you'd have told the people back in the 40s that our government was giving black soldiers syphilis, wouldn't believe it. Not Uncle Sam. Right. No. Why would they do that? Or they were giving testing LSD out on regular people. Why would they do that?
100%, I agree with you. I don't think any government, tells the people the truth all the time at all. I think they are vested in keeping their power and making sure there's no revolt. But that doesn't mean that everything that NASA says is a lie, for example.
Well, I'm not saying, okay, or what else they say, that why we haven't seen a actual photo of the Earth. Everything's kind of airbrushed and fancy looking. How the Earth actually look. You know what I mean?
I was literally watching TikTok the other night in my bed at 2 a.m. from the International Space Station with people doing a spacewalk.
Oh, I know, bro. Bro, listen, I'm not saying that. I'm not one. Let me clear this. I'm not one that's saying that the spacewalk or that shit's not happening. No. I mean, no. Do I believe they fake some shit from the camera? And sometimes you see shit, may fall or whatever. You're supposed to be floating around in gravity. You might see a pin and some fall. I'm quite sure we all seen them blooper reels out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not negating that, but or soon as you may see an object come up, then or right away shit gets blurry and
cut away.
Yeah. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is that man, it's if to 1,000 say to discredit whoever, just say for whatever reason, you can find 1,000 other articles saying it is right. I'm just saying how you say NASA stands for never a straight answer. You know what I mean? Even what's the guy's name? The famous astronaut, the one that had the meltdown when we went over to Antarctica. What's his name? Buzz Aldrin. Whatever with him, right?
Oh yeah, Buzz Aldrin.
What did he say? He said, what did he say? What did he say? Once the people found out about that blimp over there on one of those moons of Mars, hey, that monolith. Who put that there? You know what I mean? Where did that come from? You know what I mean? Said that shit on national TV. Like that's like it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I know that we're not alone here. I know we're not alone here, whatever.
That's probably true. But again, you're talking about the same government agency that literally made it public a couple of months ago that there's a very likely explanation for these things we're seeing in the skies, that they come from off-world. I think we have to be really careful being dogmatic about UFOs and monsters and spirituality.
But did they really? I mean, did they really just come out and just be clear,
yes,
right?
No. They came out with 4 options, and one of them, even someone who I despise like Ted Cruz said this literally word for word. But they came out with 4 options of what these could be, and one of them they said it is also very likely these could be coming from off-world and they are not of planet Earth. That is in the report that NASA gave to the Senate. That was made public. Was a bunch of other stuff that wasn't. My issue with that, basically, what I'm saying is that we know that's not our shit. We know Russia and China don't have that shit. Just say what it is. What is it?
It's off world.
But they're saying that's why I think science is important. Is they're saying it may very well be. We have no other real explanation, but at the same time, for them to come out and say these are coming from another planet, it's kind of like saying you die and you go to heaven. There's no proof of that. Wouldn't you want science to give us proof?
Okay. But if it's not okay, so when they say in possession of off-world vehicles, remember that's the first thing that came off, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what the hell is off-world vehicles?
It means that there is no, according to that paragraph, and this is only like a 5 or 6 page document. I think a lot of people were hoping it would be more, but according to that document, there is nothing that the people who researched this in the United States government know of that exists right now on planet Earth in 2021 that can explain how these ships are moving the way that they are supposed to be moving. That's all they're saying. Now, it could also be radar glitches, but they don't think it is, but that's a possibility.
But we talking about actual, gun camera footage. You know what I mean? So if you're looking at
now, the other thing that I think is really interesting too, which is, like I said, I don't not believe. I'm just very much an agnostic on this stuff, which is, is a lot of people say that the aliens have been here for a long time. They've been in contact with various governments. I would not be surprised to hear that, and that this is a slow rollout because aliens know that it's time to slowly start revealing themselves. And if you listen to some of these people that were with NASA, that they're like, look, there's a lot more evidence. There are pictures inside those ships. And the newscaster, this was on 60 Minutes a couple of months ago, literally asked them, okay, well, is it some sort of intelligence inside that ship? And this is a guy who was in the military. He's like, yeah, but we haven't revealed those yet. So it's also possible that we know they're from outer space. We know that they're aliens, but this is how we do it. We have to slowly kind of, educate people. Otherwise, the same people who literally believe that the votes weren't counted this last election.
They're demons.
Right.
Okay. And not to be combative, right? Let's go. But do you think they've been through that? Just like the same, we have Project Blue Book, And and they came out they come to this theory that that there was no evidence. These things aren't new. These vehicles, they wrote our ancestors were right up again on cave walls. Like this is not a new phenomenon. You understand what I'm saying? Like this is not something new. That's what I say. I call bullshit. Like okay, thank you. You kind of said it admitting it now, right? But this stuff has been happening.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
If they are non-humans, what if it's also something they don't want us to know? What if if they're in cahoots? I mean, we just assume that it's like, okay, our government has to tell us and all this stuff. Well,
no, I just don't, bro. They lie about a lot of shit. You look at Obama, and I'm not the kickers, but only black president went on there and they did them poor people out in goddamn Michigan. They knew that water was fucked up. He went on national TV, said it's okay to drink the goddamn water. They knew what the fuck was going on. So I'm sorry if I'm,
Yeah. So when we say part of the rollout, I mean that applies to both our governments as well as whatever other civilizations, So
I put the government report in the chat, by the way, if you want to read it. It's really fascinating. But if you're curious, if you haven't seen it, it says the UAP probably lack a single explanation. And these are the 5: airborne clutter, like birds, balloons, recreational unmanned drones, natural atmospheric phenomenon, industry developmental programs that people don't know about, foreign adversary systems. And then they say, although most of the UAPs described in our data set probably remain unidentified due to limited data or challenges to collecting, we may require additional scientific knowledge to successfully collect some of them. We would group these objects in the category pending scientific advances that allowed us to better understand them. And that is where they go on to talk about this is one possibility is it's off-world. So it's weird to me that they would agree, that they would openly say that, and then they're lying about everything else. If somebody put a gun to my head and said, Jaffe, what do you think is going on? I think what's going on is they know a lot more, and they know they have to slow roll this shit out, because you literally have people in the chat right now that believe in a 2,000-year-old book word for word from the fucking Iron Age. And that's the level of discourse we're talking about with a large percentage of the people on this planet. If you suddenly come out and say, here's wacky wacky do ET from planet Zip Zop, people are going to lose their fucking minds.
Let me get this one, Bill. We get the hell up out of here. My man, Mr. Oshido. What do you believe they saw? And that's another thing with Admiral Byrd. They still have his diaries or whatever the hell locked up. You know what I mean? Project High Jump. When he came out and said there'd be vehicles that the next war will be an all-planetary where they can go from pole to pole in time. And Project High Jump. I believe you most likely, in my belief, like I said, you have I guess extraterrestrials, or maybe they are more advanced than us over in Antarctica. I believe that. You know what I mean? Sounds about right. You know what I mean? Do you believe in that, Jeffrey? Jaffe, that there may be some shit over there? Admiral Byrd, you heard the story. Yeah.
Under the ocean? I mean, yes, I am a dyed-in-the-wool agnostic on all this shit. I don't know, but it would not surprise me. But also, I heard a great explanation a couple of weeks ago for why we are alone in the universe, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense too.
And the whole universe?
Alone.
Oh. He said, he said, y'all ever heard about the Black Knight satellite? Yes, I heard about that. It was Tesla, if I'm not mistaken, found it up there. So we were receiving transmissions or something from the Black, quote unquote, night. And it goes, it goes the opposite way. Say if ours goes counterclockwise, this one supposed to go the opposite of the way around the world, around Earth, up there, or whatever. Yeah, the Black Knight satellite. That's from, I've heard about it. Probably is true. Maybe it is, maybe it is not. He said, what about alien abduction, millions of people? I believe it. You think? He said Betty and Barney Hill, the most notable.
I follow the quote-unquote experiencer community. That's what they call it now. But I follow a lot of people.
You leave any credence to that, Jaffe? We can tell about it. Alien abductions.
Well, again, this Mr. Ashido guy is, no offense, sir, but you're part of the problem. What about alien abductions? It happens to millions of people all over the world. You can't ignore it. Sure, you can, because you have zero proof of it. You have a lot of people. What do you think is more likely? And by the way, I'm not saying alien abductions are not real. They might be. But what do you think is more likely in the vast majority of these cases? That these people have been taken up into outer space by aliens that don't want us clearly to know they're there, but somehow it's okay if this guy got brought up and he gets to come back and tell his story? Or is it more likely that there is some kind of ego issue or monetary issue or attention issue going on with these people? Because if you've literally been abducted by a fucking alien, I mean...
What about the pieces like so what's that? I forgot. Dr. David, not when the doctor that died from cancer, he was removing these objects from these people's bodies. That
you're talking about Lear.
Lear, yeah. Was proof. There's tangible proof.
Roger.
Roger Lear. I'm sorry that that
What's his name?
Roger Lear.
That's the alien implant guy, kind of.
Yeah, he died of another weird form of cancer.
I just listen to their stories.
No, fuck that. He did it on tape. No, fuck picking and choosing. On tape, removing these objects. Yeah. And when you do the now on these objects, they're foreign. You know what I mean? Like they're not materials made from this earth. Like, you know what I mean? Some wild, crazy shit. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of evidence out there. It's just it's just.
Oh, even like I said,
it's
Betty.
So deep in there. There's a lot of grifters. That's all
what about Betty? I look like this before we close the show. Betty and Barney Hill, right? They came out, right? First of all, you have an interracial couple in the 50s or whatever the hell year it was, right? Living up in Maine or Boston, some goddamn way. That's a racist status itself. To put that type of scrutiny on their goddamn self, and and you know what's crazy?
That star map thing was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that too, right? Yeah,
that was kind of weird.
But forget the star map. When she said they wanted to stick a needle in her belly to see if she was pregnant, you know what I mean? We wasn't doing it like that back then. We didn't find out about that too. Also years later, you know what I mean? To see if, about pregnant, but some type of needle when they want to stick in her stomach. You know what I mean? We found about that, that we can do that scientifically. You know what I mean? And the star map that she drew. I can't hear you now. Now you're breaking up for me. I can't hear you. Is he breaking up to you, Buck, or is it just me? Oh, hold on. I'm a hot box because I can't hear shit. I'm a hot box. I can't hear shit. Hold on. I can't hop. Hello? Still breaking up? I can't. Let me just close Discord. What the fuck is up with Discord tonight? I can't hear a motherfucking thing. No. All right, let me see. Let me hop back in. Hello? Hello? No route. I'm being... I can't hear shit. Oh, man. I can't hear shit. Oh, wow. Can you guys hear that shit then? Right? Last part of the show. Can't hear a motherfucking thing. Discord ain't working for me. I'm being dogs. What the hell? Hello. No route. What the hell is this? Connecting. RTC connecting. This shit is crazy. David. There we go. I'm on now. Hello.
Yeah.
It's working out for me. Yeah.
No, but there's a theory about Saturn that says the rings of Saturn, there are actual computers in the gas of Saturn, and it is sending out a shift to people so that our version of reality isn't actually what we think it is. It's what the people on Saturn want us to believe. I mean, there's no, we just got to be okay going, we don't fucking know. Let's be the Fantastic
I'm okay
Four.
with that.
and go explore and let's figure this shit out. Even this Hassan Kamara guy in the chat who's like obsessed with letting us know there is a God. And I'm like, you don't know that, man. And that's okay if you want to believe it, but wouldn't it be better if you just jumped in the fantastic car with the rest of us and let's figure this shit out? The sooner we can really figure it out, the better.
Jaffe, he said, my grandmama didn't lie.
Your grandma was probably ignorant.
Well, like I said, man, this would I'll leave you with the last quote, Jaffe, because I can hear it was something about Betty and Barney Hill, I guess, the alien introduction. But the guy Roger Lear with the alien implant, because I can hear nothing. I was before we go last.
You didn't know he was debunked, Z?
Who was debunked?
Roger Lear.
No,
we debunked him within the time that you were gone.
I don't know. I know he died. I had some weird form of cancer. Like the guy Lloyd Pye.
Oh, they took him out. That means they took him out.
Yeah, but he was what made these implants so crazy. There was no scar, right? How whatever this object got in there, and how prime example. As good as our medicine is today, if you don't know, I've been shot a few times. I have a lot of metal on my body, right? And sometimes your body tends to reject it. Like if you have a ride, sometimes a lot of the older people they get infections, and if you have stuff like that in your body, right? Big shit, right? That's why they gave someone taking so many steroids and antibiotics and shit, right? Neither here nor there. Your body would tend to fight off, but with these implants, there were no the body accepted it naturally. It was crazy as hell. Dr. David Jacobs, I know him, and the doctor from Harvard too. He did the thing with
Dr.
the kids.
Giggles.
With the kids in Africa, where they had the landing and stuff.
That shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's another thing too. But Roger Lear. If you never seen it, he was actually removing these from. There was no scar how it got
How about
there.
John Mack? It's
That's
possible.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about. That's the.
Yeah.
That's the guy from Harvard. The doctor from Harvard.
Right.
Yeah, but but do you have any credence or anything about the Anunnaki? David, we can tell her, do you think it's real? You think it's fake?
I've never heard of that. What is that?
The Anunnaki?
Never heard of the Anunnaki?
No, what is that? Or if I have, maybe I don't know what the name is.
That's supposed
Those are the people that predates humans.
Yeah, they came here to mine for gold. And why did they come here to mine for gold? To put up in their atmosphere. We used to, I guess, they tore a hole in their ozone in their atmosphere, whatever. And, they needed to repair their atmosphere gold. And from what they're saying, I'll give you an example. Saturn rains diamonds. True fact, right? And gold is kind of unique to here, believe it or not, to Earth. And they was over here mining in Africa. So you had the whole thing, the Garden of the Eden, which the Eden was their science thing. But you said you never read the Sumerian Tales of Creation, right?
No, I'd say that's interesting.
Yeah, the Eden, and you know what that stuff is at? Peep game, right? And we can end the show with a cliffhanger. Sumerian was modern day Iraq, right? This is modern day Iraq. We didn't know.
Yep.
Okay. That's where a couple of years ago, the Iraqi Minister of Defense went on Al Jazeera TV, their news saying they found a 9,000-year-old airport or something with a flight man and stuff, festos and some shit. Now we're not talking about some quack here, of what they were doing back then. The people, or the quote unquote their lord, the Anunnaki, whatever the hell you want to call them. Evidence. But that's where it comes from back then. So some would say that's why we invaded Iraq. They thought Saddam got his hands on some weapons of mass destruction, some of that ancient, ancient shit there. That's why we,
Well, that's how you got what's that movie, Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah.
When you look at a lot of these movies, Indiana Jones, it's basically teaching you exactly about this stuff.
Yeah,
What supposedly happened to the Anunnaki?
They went back to their planet, where they came from. Yeah. They were here.
Okay.
The Anunnaki are a group of deities of the ancient, Sumerians, Akkadians, Assyrians, and Babylonians back then.
Yeah,
So,
basically, why they said they made it humans, or whatever the case may be, was they were mining and that was back-breaking work. You know what I mean? So you know what? Let's make a.
You can fly to another planet and leave another planet, but you cannot figure out. You have to literally create life to get the gold out of the ground.
No, they were doing it for hundreds and thousands of years. You know what? Fuck us doing it. Let's make us subservient after our image and after our likeness.
Why don't you make a fucking machine like your fucking UFO that can have interstellar travel?
Jaffe, to be fair, the Bible teaches how the angels were cast down, right? They were stricken and they were cast down, and they started mating with the humans here on Earth, and that's how you got the different shit that you got.
Let me ask you a question, Jaffe. I gotta get
the Bible tells you that
You're
stuff.
telling me the Bible? Oh well, if the Bible says the angels did it.
No. Let me ask you a question. How do you think we got different races of people?
Define races.
Well, what do I mean by races? All right. We're all one race, the human race, right? Let's be clear this, right? We all one race in the human race, okay? All right.
I think probably the logic goes something like, I could be wrong, I haven't really researched it, but my gut tells me the logic behind that is that roughly in the same, 100,000 year span, life was happening all over the planet in different parts, and the very nature of being becoming human and evolving into what we call humans in a desert climate is very different than evolving in a jungle climate, is very different than evolving in a forest climate. And those things ultimately lead to everything from pigmentation to, even if you look at my dad goes all the way back to, there's a part of my dad, like my mom was Southern Baptist and I don't know where she came from, but my dad was sort of a Jewy Jew. It was like Ashkenazi or whatever. Well, one of the reasons Jews and Middle Easterners have such big noses was to filter out a lot of the sand. When they were more of a sand dwelling people, right? So I mean, that would be my answer as to why I think.
Okay, so like this, right? So if you take me, my two bottom bitches, and my wife, right? Whatever the fuck the case may be, right? Say about a bunch of hammer bitches, we all black. If you put us on Moon or Mars, we're gonna give nothing birth but to black. I don't care how hot it is or how cold, you're gonna give birth to nothing but black babies. Whether that doesn't change who you are, like I guess we just say, but genetically, how you say they can tell a white person from a black or just because I'm living in Antarctica that I'm gonna lose the pigmentation in my skin, I'm still gonna be a black person. You know what I mean? Or if I live in China, that doesn't mean that just because I live in that part of the world that my eyes are going to only become
100,000 years.
Bro, I'm gonna be black. Trust me, they ain't going nowhere anyway. You got motherfuckers that, listen. What I'm saying is,
I don't understand what you're saying. I mean, you're saying if you go up to Mars,
no.
Yeah, you're not gonna change.
No. This is what I'm saying, right? Because I just think that's also kind of been disproven. Just because you live on a certain part of of the earth, you're gonna change your race. You know what I mean? I'm gonna because we living over here, we're gonna become Spaniard, or just because I'm living in Asia, like I said, my eyes are gonna become slanted. That doesn't really, I don't think it just works like that. Or like
it totally works like that. It doesn't work like that for you personally, but if you end up having a baby and then that baby ends up having a child, and that child either because of the region or because of people that they end up having sex with and having babies, eventually over time.
I'm talking about if there was one, right? So you're saying there were different races of people who just came out simultaneously together.
Life was being birthed in all parts of the world, and parts of the world are different with different climates and different challenges and different benefits. And in that's probably how the races came about, because there were, people who were a forest breeding culture didn't have to worry about filtering sand out of their nose, or didn't have to worry about getting sunburn because they had the canopies to block the sun. So the pigmentation issue is different for them.
I don't know. If they're saying, what do you call it, humanity or whatever, started in Africa, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And we can all agree that they were black people, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But do we agree that the first humans came? I mean, I have heard that, and I have no reason to deny science on that, but it would surprise me if, I mean, I guess what happened is the way they explain it is if everything came from Ethiopia and then there were these mass migrations and that's ultimately how they evolved into the different races. But the first X million years, it was all African people, black people.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just, I get that. But what I'm just saying, the last thing I'm saying, we close the goddamn show. Like, if you leave a drop of blood somewhere, right? And they come around, they can come out and say, hey, David Jaffe was a white dude, crazy white motherfucker that made God of War, white dude. If I leave, this motherfucker's an ethical goddamn dope dealer, gangbanger here, black blood is white blood. That's, you know what I mean? How you say, far as, like I said, we all the part of the human race, right? You know what I mean? Or how you say, even more deep, you can't, one color, black, right? You can't get white from black or black. You know what I mean? You understand? That's, I don't see how that can happen. There had to be some shit going on, some tinkering. Like, they had to be somewhere because, like I said, even our chromosome too, that shit is fused together. There had to be some tinkering somewhere. Because that just because you live, like this, you got people of color. I'll give you an example, right?
I think both are true.
Yeah, I think you got people of color that have been living wherever, right? Even in Europe. They found some old, I forgot what they called them, and that motherfucker was black, right? Of a dark color, right? That's just gonna, I'm just gonna turn into Michael Jackson, or it's gonna change me genetically. You understand what I'm saying? That I'm gonna become a white person or a Spanish person. Like, that doesn't really make any. I don't care how. You know what I mean? You can't explain that away. I understand if your body will adapt. If it's more cold, yes, you maybe over a while you become more hairy. I can give you that. You know what I mean? Over a while, but or will make me 5'2" or turn me into a goddamn Ecuadorian or whatever the hell the case may be. I just because you live in South America, that's just that's a far stretch to me.
I don't think anybody's saying that, though. Just to be fair, I don't.
No, you're saying that over a while. I'm not putting words in your mouth. What I'm saying is, like, you have so many different, which I think, so many different races of, not how you say, ethnicities. I mean, if that's the proper word or to use or whatever, right? If we all were just one, at one point, you understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that just because of whatever part of the world or the earth that you live on would change that.
This comes back to we just really don't know for sure.
Yeah, that's That's what I'm saying.
I think it's a little.
I think there's been some tinkering going on somewhere.
I do too, but I also believe in what Jaffe is saying.
What is Jaffe saying? Are you just copping?
I believe.
Shut up, Buck. Did I just buy you an Xbox, Buck? Shut up, Buck. Show some loyalty, bitch.
Hey, the abominable snowman. Fuck it.
The Yeti. I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in Bigfoot.
The Bigfoot. There you go.
Yeah, people call it different things. I believe in the Yeti.
I don't think they're two different species. Probably the same species. Mm-hmm. One guy got white fucking fur to be in the snow.
We got a Rodimus with the $5. He says, Z, we have an example of this. Every breed of dogs is originating from wolves, so human can do the exact same thing.
How about this? And there's no such thing as a pure breed. How about that, right? Because you want to bring up dogs.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a pure breed, and it's not the same thing. You do things evolve, species, giraffes or goddamn wild horses over wild. Yeah, you know what I mean. But what I'm just saying is that I don't know, man.
Science kind of tells us that we all started out right, obviously in Africa, right?
Yeah, okay.
And then over time, as the resources got scarce, groups of people started branching out, some going north, some going south, some going east, west. That's how you get people that ventured off, got over to Australia, some over in America, some over in, just all over the place. And because the regions they went to, they're over a length of time, right? Over thousands and thousands of years, their bodies no longer needed the pigment, right? It no longer needed to absorb the energy from the sun and stuff like that. So they lost the pigmentation of their skin. So a lot of people end up in the mountains, right?
I mean, there's
up in the mountains. I'm just going by the theory of what science say.
Well, the theory of what science says. Again, do I believe in aliens? I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me. But this is pretty logical, though. The idea that aliens have come and tinkered with our DNA is a great story, and if someone could prove it, I wouldn't be surprised. But if you literally, I'm looking at Live Science right now. The full kaleidoscope of skin colors was a relatively recent evolutionary development, according to biologists. The migration of modern humans out of Africa 100,000 to 50,000 years ago. Consensus among scientists has always been that lower levels of vitamin D at higher latitudes, where the sun is less intense, cause the lightning effect of skin when modern humans. So I'm just kind of going.
Does that change your? I'll give you an example. You have some. You have some Jewish people, right, or Italians that are darker. Maybe that doesn't change your ethnicity. You know what I mean? You're still a white person, or you're still a Chinese person. I don't. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. Like that, I don't see how that can change that because of where you live. You know,
that depends on what you're defining as ethnicity. I mean, a Jewish person is a religion, not a race. Anyway.
Well, at the time, they went together, Hebrew and Jew. That was your culture went alongside with your.
Well, also,
your
we
region.
haven't been documenting shit for 100,000 years, so we can't really test this. We'd have to test it, like in the future.
Fuck it.
It's the only way. Really.
All right, David. Oh, we got last one. Let's
say one thing before we go.
Yeah.
Because there's people in the chat who I just want to be clear on this.
You got good eyes. You got good eyes, Jeff.
I never said that we don't. There are no aliens in the universe. What I said was we don't know, and it wouldn't surprise me if there are. But last week or 2 weeks ago, I heard a theory that for the first time, when somebody explained why there probably are not more intelligent life than we are in the universe, that was the first time it made sense. That's all I'm saying. And is it true? I don't know. But I was like, oh, that makes logical sense.
That we don't need people here. I mean, not in the universe. Like, there's just us here.
Well, they were basically suggesting that there's two options. We are either the smartest creatures in the universe, and we are simply. We've simply gotten to a point in space travel that's the farthest that anyone in the history of existence has ever gotten to. The chances of that is pretty rare, but that's possible, which is why we haven't seen others. The other one was we are not advanced enough to be worth connecting with these people, and so they ignore us, and so there may be aliens, but we'll never discover them. I'll send you the link. It was fascinating, actually, but but I bring up the story, or I bring up that video to suggest that the best place to be if you really care about this stuff, in my opinion, whether it's God, what happens after we die, or there are aliens out there, all that shit, is to sit there and be so happy about saying, I don't fucking know. Because that's the mindset you have to be in to gain knowledge. Because all these things people are saying, especially today with the internet, it's he said, she said, and debunk this and debunk that, and this is true and that's not true, and it's a really dangerous road we're walking if we don't, in my opinion, change our way of thinking about things and bringing knowledge in.
David Jaffe, it's been a pleasure, brother.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. To pick your bring out the difference. We got to do it again, man. This has definitely been interesting. And I do apologize for the pastor from South Ethiopia with the dog shit mic. Shout out to my man, Pastor Joe, with his bullshit. Ventriloquism. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed, I know I don't do many of these. Expand your mind. Give my man David Jaffe. I usually do them on Twitch. A round of applause. Thank you for coming by, David. I appreciate you, man. For this, bringing something new to the table. You know what I mean?
No, it's fun, man. I had a good. I always like talking about this stuff. I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah, see, I can talk more than just jive. Hey, my man, what it look like? Say no. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I'm about to go probably live on Twitch and play whatever, and have some more fun. Bucking the fuck. Take the second half of the conversation over there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna drop the link for the Twitch channel. Damn, you got some weird hours, Dave. What you goddamn, you might work as hard as me.
Had an out-of-body experience.
Who?
What's that?
I said you got some weird hours. I've been seeing you streaming. Like, what the hell? What do you do? Videos during the day and streaming every day at night?
It's my clock is just off, and so basically I tend to wake up at noon. And then prep a stream, and then I go to bed at like 4 and wake up at noon. It's not.
He's on stoner hours.
Yeah, my hours aren't.
I still can dig it too. I don't go to bed till probably. I'm up all night. I probably won't go to bed till about 9 in the morning. 10.
Yeah, I mean,
and I sleep about
just
6.
have. It's just where my clock is right now. I don't actually have to go anywhere for a job, and I work from home, and my kids are at home, and so it just it works for me right now. But yeah, so I'm sure I'll be streaming tonight later as well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, drop the link. Shout out to Jaffe. Appreciate you, bro, coming by. I'm about to go live on Jiff and playing. Probably I don't know what the fours or either goddamn duty or something. I'll be playing. But yeah, we got another bill here. Yeah, duty. Okay. We need a race with Firehead Clown. Oh my Jesus. Optimus back sweat, man. Cypher again. Shout out to everybody. If you listen, if you like the show today, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Give me a like, man. Appreciate you, man.
Oh man, shout out to Pastor Joe. He said we all come from Phil Spencer's loins.
Oh my Jesus. Pastor better go sit your nasty.
Only if you pay $15 a month.
Oh my God, Game Pass. Yeah, man. Dope shit though. Yeah, I'm about to go live on Twitch. I'm gonna drop the link to my Twitch channel. Hey, come on over.
Dub is a liar.
And if you got Amazon Prime, drop the link. You can subscribe to my channel for absolutely free. It costs you nothing. Here's a link for both of them. We out here, man. Do. Yeah.